pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to open the meeting to the first public input. Just state your name.
Lois Sweeney, Ossipee Corner. Hi. I wrote a letter to the Selectmen about a cemetery plot that I would like the town to take. On there, it also says that if the town needs more land for cemeteries, I'm open to moving a line because I own below it too.
Yeah, I actually think it's kind of ironic she came in because I just talked to Crystal and the other trustee
Okay.
to see if they were made aware of this.
Okay.
And they got two different stories, one from Roy Barron and a different one from his wife when she was serving. So they now have Lois's phone number off that letter.
Okay.
So they will be getting in touch with
Okay,
you.
so we're going to have the trustees just investigate it.
Investigate it, see what
report
all
back
it's
to
about,
us.
and come back to you.
Okay, that fair enough?
Thank you.
Yep,
Okay.
we'll get the wheels moving for you.
Thanks.
Any other public input? Go ahead. You raised your hand first, so go ahead.
Thank you. Paul Corse. I submitted to have a hydrant moved on 3 Shorey Lane. That's interfering with my...
Right, TJ informed me. Are you aware of that? There's a, TJ, want to just give a quick?
Yep. There's a fire hydrant down on, right across from the boat launch on Route 25. And that development right there, that's a private development. We don't plow it, we don't do anything with it, but there is a fire hydrant out there that, the water's part of our water and sewer, correct, Jimmy? Correct. And when, you put your garage in, there was certain setbacks and everything. Well, the fire hydrant is directly in front of his garage.
TJ, do you have the picture handy?
I do have the
Just show, it'll, picture say 1,000 words.
And I tried for a variance. I went probably 6 meetings, and if I got the variance, the hydrant wouldn't have been a problem. But the town made me move it up and put it where it is and redesign it and put the doors facing the street. So now the hydrant become a problem.
Right.
So he's offered to pay for everything and have it moved. And he's already talked to me about having Dawson do it, which we would have to do anyway. He's our advisor.
I don't want to interrupt you, but my last resort was for me to pay for everything there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we're not going to pay for that. That's,
then can I move it myself?
well, this moving.
I mean, personally myself.
You personally? No.
Okay.
No, it would have to be done by.
Yeah.
I'm being penalized because the town wouldn't give me a variance, and now I have to pay even more money to move a hydrant that's in front of my...
The variance, you were issued a variance with the zoning board?
I was denied the variance, and they told me to put the garage right where it is.
Correct.
And I explained to them about utilities and hydrants, and that was going to be one of my 3 criterias for not doing what I had to do, and they still denied it and said that, don't worry, the hydrant won't be a problem. Well, it's in the middle of my garage, so it is a problem.
Well, we don't control the zoning board. They make their own decisions.
I get that. I understand that, but it's still part of the town.
But you knew the hydrant was there prior to putting the building in?
Yes,
So then why would you put it there if the hydrant was a problem?
because the town told me to put it right there.
But you didn't have to build it there.
I had no other place to build it.
That's my point.
You didn't have to build.
If they gave me a variance and I moved it back, it wouldn't have been a problem.
The town shouldn't absorb the cost of moving a hydrant if you put a building.
Well, has anybody talked to the fire department about this at all?
No.
It's we own the system. I can talk to him about moving it, but moving it 10 feet left or right isn't going to matter to him. Pretty much you pretty much want to get this legalities of how it's going to get moved.
Correct.
I was under the understanding he was just going to, if you wanted to, I support that, but it's going to have to be done by a reputable,
Yeah,
water-
it's a fire
water
hydrant, so it's
person.
gonna have to be done right, correctly.
yeah.
I get that.
It's a life-saving device, so.
I've been a fireman for 35 years, you don't have to tell me, I understand that. But I said it was, the reason it's become an issue is because the town made me move my garage. If the town gave me the variance I applied for, I went to 6 meetings, drew all different kinds of plans, had a representative there for me. If they had given me the variance, it would have been, the hydrant wouldn't have been an issue.
They made you meet the setback requirements of the zoning ordinance as well.
Correct.
They
Yes,
wouldn't allow you to build outside those setbacks.
correct.
You needed to deny the variance, so you are built technically in the correct location. The fire hydrant just happens to be there in addition, which the fire hydrant was there before your building was placed.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
Rick,
You want to speak, Rick?
Yes.
Go
To get a variance, you have to show a hardship of the land.
Okay.
It's not a hardship of yourself personally. It has to be a hardship of the
I
land.
get that.
So I don't have a problem with him paying to have it moved as long as the public works director, the water department, and the chief, fire chief says it's okay.
and he hires a
Right.
reputable firm to do it.
So I'll make that motion with those conditions I just mentioned.
Yeah,
Do I have a second?
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So, TJ, you gonna hook up with him and,
Yeah, I've had open dialogue with him so far. He'll have to, you know, plan on which way he's gonna, I just talked to him a little bit, he can keep it on his land, so not have to go on anyone else's land, so.
Okay, perfect.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Any other public input? Go ahead, sir. State your name.
My name is Gary Miller, and my situation is a little different than everyone else's here. I have a tax
I would vote for Jim.
issue with my house. I've fallen behind over the years. Received a letter recently, and I looked at the date of the final date, and I wrote it down on the calendar as the wrong date. I'm misplacing medication and money, and I forget where I put a letter, and I mean, it's killer. I got the letter months ago, I had the money ready, and I missed the deadline, and so then I received a letter from Mr. Sawyer, and now the house is in your possession, and we have a final bill that is due to pay the taxes, which I'm glad it's getting to, because this would have been a drop in the bucket compared to the final bill, which I'm prepared to pay, have the money to pay, but I have 2 requests. One would be if I could get another 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not exactly sure. Mr. Sawyer hadn't given me an exact date. So, and I don't expect an answer now from you if you can think about this and you know, because it's open thing here, but I would like, I think he told me, I understood that from around July 10th, he said I had 30 days, which would make it around August 10th. I'm asking for if we could go to the middle of August, the middle of September, which would be September 15th, which is just about 2 months from today. That would guarantee me, I'm selling equipment, and guarantee me the money that I can settle this. You don't want it back, I do want it back, and this can be settled. I'm asking, the other question is, have you ever forgiven interest? And if so, is that a possibility? And I said, like I said, I don't expect an answer today, but appreciate, I mean, we'll be in, Matt's on vacation. Is that his name, Matt Sawyer?
He'll be back next week. So I have your payment, your buyback total as of 6/29. This one expires 7/29.
23.
It's $23,033.95.
I'm totally prepared to pay it.
So-
I just need a little time to get the money, if that's a possibility. If not, then I have to deal with it. But as of the moment,
So-
I don't, do you have an exact date there for?
Well, this says 7/29, but what's gonna happen is, if you don't pay it by this date, once we pick a date for the public auction for the properties, you're gonna get another notice, which will give you 30 more days to come in and buy the property back.
All right, so you say that I'm safe by, if I pay within the 15th of September, I'll be fine?
I'm not saying anything, I'm just telling you that is the process, because we don't know when there's gonna be an auction for the properties that were taxed in this way.
What would you recommend be the safest, as quick as I can, obviously?
Say it again?
What would be your recommendation, is to pay it as quick as possible, but once it goes past the 29th, is that now up for grabs, or?
No.
I mean, I
So,
know you say,
the 29th was for this buyback offer. Again, once we pick an auction date, say I'm giving, these are hypotheticals, not, we pick November 1st that we're gonna auction the properties. We're gonna send a notice to every property owner that 90 days prior to that auction date, and they'll have 30 days to come in and do a buyback.
Okay.
Once that 30 days passes, then that's it, there's no more buybacks.
Okay, well, I guess I'm telling you that I know by September the 1st or so, I'll have the money, I know I will. I just want to communicate that to you, that I'm not just letting this thing go, and, you know, so I understand you have a process, and I also have a responsibility to get the money as soon as I can, so in what you're saying, it sounds like there's a little bit of squeeze time after the 29th. That's all I was concerned about.
Yes.
You're gonna come and there's, you know,
The
everything.
official letter will be, that final letter that our town administrator is gonna send, is gonna give you the 90 days, and that first 30 days is gonna be the window to buy it back. That's the official requirement in the RSA.
Okay, all right, great, all right, that works very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
But
time.
again, I don't know when that date's gonna be, so just stay in touch with the town administrator.
Yeah, all right, fine,
Okay.
thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate your time.
Any other public input? Okay, we're gonna move on to department head reports. Highways up first on the list, or Tony?
You know, 'cause mine takes a while.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mine takes a
Police is
while.
first.
He's awfully hot in his vest. The month of June was very busy. We got up to dispatched to 1,800 calls, which is quite a bit higher than the prior months, and it's probably because it's summer, more people are up here, which is busier. Still only ended up with 13 arrests, so apparently we worked all those calls out. Motor vehicle work's looking good. Our new officers are doing actually a very good job. They're pretty valuable. They know what they're doing now. We're still waiting on our 2 cruisers. Supposedly they're in the lot there, and they said they're building them, so hopefully that's happening. Because as we know, those other 2 patrol cars are limping. 4th of July, even though that was this month, but it was, the Old Home Weeks went real well. It's my first year doing it, so I was nervous going into it, but everything seemed to go pretty well. I learned from it. Probably going to do some things different next year, but it was a pretty safe week. Nothing serious happened. As you know, we took the animals from that property on Stoneview. That was on our Facebook account. So those are currently at Lake Region Humane Society, so dealing with that case, try to get those animals released. But that's about it.
So we just asked a question with the animals. So we're responsible to board them. We just got a big bill for $3,200 for the first boarding for these animals. Mostly dogs, I believe.
9 dogs, 1 cat.
Right. Do you know those remain up? If there's anything that's going to happen with relinquishing ownership, so they could be.
Because she was charged with the cruelty to animals charge, they're basically, she can't have them. We
Right.
gotta hold them, because they're ultimately evidence of the crime.
Right.
I've been working with the defendant to try to get her to release the animals, and she's very uncooperative. I expedited the hearing. I motioned the court to expedite the hearing, so the hearing will be Wednesday, but that's just an arraignment.
Right.
I will motion the court again to expedite the next hearing. Unfortunately, there's really no option at this time
Right.
with those animals, unless she's willing to sign those animals over. So,
Right.
from what I understand, she is in the process. The other animals that were left on the property are being removed. So she did make arrangements to take care of that issue. So, as far as the dogs right now, so.
And you interviewed with WMUR on that case. Did it ever make it to the news?
John, they interviewed me last, I want to say Thursday, for about 20 minutes via video, and I never saw it. I don't know if they're waiting for more
Maybe.
to do a whole story on it,
Right.
but I would assume they plan on doing something with it.
Okay.
I mean, we've got it all over Facebook. It's pretty known that it's affecting, it's costing the town, so.
Right. Okay.
But that's all.
All right. Any questions? You guys good?
Those animal cases are the worst ones,
Yeah.
because when you take them, you gotta care for them.
Right.
So, and you can't put them in adoption homes either.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
all right?
Thank you.
All right, guys.
TJ, you want to go next?
I'll start with mine first, and then do you want me to just go through all of them?
Yeah, just look at
Worked with Matt on some of the covered bridge concerns that we had. brought up these final steps that we had. There was some things we weren't clear about. We cleared those up with Hoyle and Tanner and the contractor. Still waiting on one bid for the hauling and dumping fees for the transfer station. So maybe we can get someone different in there, or maybe the same person. I'm working on a cost analysis for the recycling facility, just in the process of doing that. Coordinating getting the new scales at the transfer station. Everything's gone as planned so far. Working with Justin and the rec director to get things going for we had to get some things cleaned up for the 4th, and everything was a success. Had to move some stuff around at the last minute, but got it done. Working with water and sewer to submit some mandatory testing and reports. Also been with Matt securing some town-owned properties. In the process right now, as I'm trying to get some quotes for a new floor in the lobby. We had when you come in, you guys might have noticed, we had a leaky fountain. It rotted in there, so we got to get a new one and do something different in there. I've been working with Allstate that's going to be doing our paving to get a start date for our 2021 paving. I'm going to do a list and put it on the website. I have it put on the website so that everyone can see what's going to be paved and where it's going to be done. Line striping has been scheduled. It was scheduled 2 or 3 months ago. It's been a 70% increase in paint. So some of the roads that you see a yellow line and a white line painted this year might only have the yellow line freshened up, just because we have a budget we got to stick by. I worked on a detailed report for Duncan Lake Road to go in front of the planning board, and I presented that to them, and they took that. That was mine. And then Highway Department began second round of grading. They've done Valley Road and Pine Hill, graded them, compacted them, and calciumed the roads. They've been cleaning out inlets and outlets, and they started this process in Granite, and they're working around the whole town. I'd like to thank the Highway Department for doing the dirt work at the transfer station. That's going to help keep down the cost of that project. They did every bit of the dirt work. They're dealing with multiple beaver issues. I think there's 4 different locations the beavers were plugging the pipes up. We've installed a lot of new street signs around town, and it's becoming an issue. A lot of people are taking these street signs. Everyone needs to know that when they take a street sign, we have new officers, new firefighters, new people working for the highway. When those street signs aren't there, they can't see which road it is, so it potentially could be very dangerous when you need to go to a road. They don't know which road it is. And the police department is aware of it, so they're going to be watching that, much more about the signs. We are still working on removing the stumps on Hodgson Shore Road. Some of those trees down there had between a 4-inch and a 12-inch cavity in them. They were completely rotted. Took pictures of them. The truck 8 had the radiator replaced and the coolant line, and our mechanic did the first quote, went around, was going to get it all through Peterbilt, some other companies, and the whole job was going to be up over $2,000, but Scott did his due diligence and called around. Advanced Diesel actually manufactured us a new hose, or new stainless steel line, and he got the radiator fixed for, the whole job was under $1,000. It was like $860 something. So pretty good to him. Have issued a lot of driveway permits, and during the storm we didn't have hardly any washouts, which is kind of unbelievable coming out of all that dry weather and then having all that rain. I thought we'd have a lot of washouts, but they've done a good job of keeping everything cleaned out, so that's the highway.
TJ, if I could just touch on the street signs.
Yep.
We're going to PJ's going to communicate with me better about these signs, and when he does, let us know about a sign that's missing, because with today's technology, everyone has cameras on their houses, so we're going to start knocking on doors if a sign goes missing and try to maybe find a camera, and maybe get something on camera. Because at least that'll be a deterrent to let people know that there are cameras everywhere, so.
Right, very good.
So we can work a little harder to stop that problem.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you,
all.
Tony. And then, actually, one of his new officers just found one of our signs that went missing last year, way out in the woods on Polly's Crossing. So slowly they're finding them. But the signs also have gone from when I started, a road sign was like $48.70. That was only 2 years ago. and that same road sign's $117. So signs have gone through the
We're
roof.
over budget on our sign budget
A
already.
lot over budget on the sign budget. So this is the rec department's report. He just couldn't be here tonight. 12 youth softball season finished June 13th, went extremely well. Babe Ruth softball team completed 2 tournaments in June, one in Barrington, one in Londonderry. The competition level was much higher. Spring soccer finished for season June 17th, 41 participants. Granite State track and field finished for the spring. We had 5 participants. Summer staff training was held June 14th to 16th. Day camp started June 8th, and if anyone's been around here, you can see that's a pretty big success. He's got a lot of kids here. They've gone to the ocean, Maine Wildlife Park, Aquaboggan, and the movies. Adult softball is still at the Y field. Adult open gym has continued. Old Home Week was a success despite the weather. The block party was well attended. The touch a truck, there was 19 trucks there, vehicles on displays. The Highway Department, Ossipee Police Department, Center Ossipee, Ossipee Corner, and West Ossipee Fire Department. That was a big success. The guys went and said it was great. The fireworks at Constitution Park were excellent if anyone went. The softball teams walked in the parade and the banners and trophies. The fall program guide will be out first of the week in August, so he's got that headed out. Last is water and sewer. So, for June, I did not read this, but I do want to point out, Jim's here. We had a radiator actually go on the generator at the Pine River Pump Station. The initial quote that he got that we've always used was $4,828, and he got the whole job done by calling a radiator repair shop for $1,471. That's a savings of $3,357.
Nice
So
job, Jimmy.
I just want to give him kudos on that. They pumped approximately 130 gallons of the lagoons. There's a leak in the basement of the fire department. The freeze plate on the water meter broke, and these guys fixed it promptly. And then for the May, they worked with Dawson Excavation, replacing a mechanic joint base and gasket for the hydrant on Route 16. A 2x2 concrete thrust block was put behind it. Marked out water and sewer utilities with locating equipment for the new resident service across from 199 Moltenville Road. Cleaned out the pump room at the sewers pump station. All groundwater and surface water samples from Camp David came back in acceptance to EPA protocol. The results have been submitted to the Department of DES. Spread out gravel and graded around the fire hydrant on Birch Tree Lane down there, kind of spruce that up. Both analyzers at Pine River Pump Station have been calibrated by A&D Instruments, and the gravel pack wells have been flow tested. Been working on sanding down and painting the fire hydrants. The 2021 CCR Consumer Confidence Report has been distributed to the public by mail and hand delivery. And you can see those here. Jim's put them out at local businesses and stuff. Him and I are also working on getting our tank sealed on the outside. And we did have a car hit the fire hydrant right at the end of Dorr Street. And he's working on fixing that. But that hopefully is going to be under insurance from the person that hit it.
Very good.
Okay?
Excellent.
Yeah, Jake will be here Friday to do the hydrant, so we'll have that back in service Friday.
Okay, good.
And as 199 Montville Road, he'll be there Monday to cut the road,
That's good you said that. That road will be closed too.
dig up the main, and at least get that service into that lot, so.
Yes, you do the water test, you tested at the furthest point, correct?
We tested, there's all different points, they test it now. We did before, I don't know where it was tested, but Jim tested beginning, the end, and the middle of the line, correct?
Yep.
And this year was one of the bigger years because it was for iron, right, or no?
Iron and PFAS testing.
So
We do have third quarter lead and copper coming up as well.
that's what I was thinking of, lead and copper, which will be coming up. So,
Yep, thank you.
Jimmy, if you have a second, just Sue's gonna read a letter from the board.
This letter is addressed to Jim Champagne. Dear Jim, it has been brought to our attention from our Public Works Director that you have been performing exemplary work in your role as lead operator for the water and sewer systems. We understand that your work ethic, system knowledge, and customer service has all been top-notch in this role. Furthermore, that the ability for these systems to function and thrive without a full-time dedicated superintendent is because of your skill set and dedication. Thank you for your service and the value you add to the town and the water and sewer department. Sincerely, and it's signed by the Board of Selectmen. And the board will present you with this letter, Jim, but we need to get a copy of it.
Thank you, that means a lot to me, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Good job.
Building and zoning.
Good afternoon. Sue.
Thank you.
I have three sections of this month. The first section is basically the front page, and if you look at that, you're going to see the building permits for the month of June were 18 for a fee of $4,497.30. The electrical permits, there were 12 for $800. Plumbing permits, 6 for $300. Occupancy permits, 2 at $25. Driveway permits, 1. Demolition, 1. Temporary occupancy, 1. And camper, 1. To elaborate on the driveway permits, I've been working with Neil and TJ on that, and we're coming up with a system now. Before a building permit is issued, you know, the driveway permit has to be established. So that's working out pretty well for us. If you look on the second page behind the staple piece, it's the second sheet from the back. Kind of looks like this one here. Yeah. This is something that I found on our avatar system that I hadn't seen before, and it's actually, you can program into the computer what kind of inspections for each kind of building permit. So like this one here is for, this is for new houses, so it's telling you the exact inspections that you have to go out and do on each one. So you got the framing, the rough electrical, smoke detectors, new service setbacks, foundations, and finished electrical. And this last page here, the reason I printed this one off is this is discrepancies in our system. And if you look down at the right-hand corner in the bottom, this is page 80 of 80. So there's quite a few discrepancies, and these can be as minute as just not hitting the close button on one facet. There's several places on each permit that you have to go in, and you actually have to manually go in there and check it off. So Laura and myself, we're working on this when we have time to see if we can't get that rectified at some point.
Very good.
Okay?
Excellent.
That's what I have for this month.
Very good. Very
Last one.
thorough.
Good report.
Anything for me?
Excellent.
Just, what's the estimated cost on the front? What is that?
Estimated cost on,
Top right.
okay, if you look down on the bottom there, there's one that says 51,000.
Right.
Okay, that was one person. That was a remodel job
Uh-huh.
that it's very hard to figure the square footage.
Okay.
So they actually gave me a cost breakdown of how much it was going to cost the homeowner. And when I did the math
Yeah.
with the formulas that we have, it came out within $200.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it works out pretty darn good.
Excellent.
I'd like to see more of that in the system, you know. I mean, it would show what's happening in town. And I also found a report on like census stuff, but I haven't figured out how to run it yet. I don't know how you have to document it on the building reports on how, because they ask for single-family, two-family, multi-dwelling, and that kind of stuff, so I haven't figured that one out yet, but
Okay,
I have to go back to school, I guess.
keep plugging away.
All right,
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Rick, do you have a copy of that?
Thank you. This one?
Awesome, you done?
Okay, there's no selectmen's office, no tax, okay, we're done with department heads. Move on to the red folder. Martha, you ready?
I'm sorry. I have the check totals for the payroll for week ending the 13th. Total payroll for the week was $35,861.18. Motion to approve that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The total accounts payable for that week, $1,930,944. Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
In that payment was a $1,772,576 school payment. That's why it was so large.
That's right. I have the Selectmen's meeting minutes for June 28th. I make a motion to approve these.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Had an abatement application from a property, map 90, lot 17,000, no subdivision. Request for a sewer abatement for water used to water my lawn and fill my pool. A motion was made to deny this. Okay. I have an application for an abatement from the same property. Request for an abatement for water used to water her lawn again, and that was also rejected. That's there. I have a selectmen's deed. Know all persons by these presents that the town of Ossipee, New Hampshire, mailing address 55 Main Street, P.O. Box 67, Center Ossipee, after receiving all known back taxes, interest and penalties, grant to John White of 163 Doors Corner Road, Center Ossipee, with no covenants, the following description. It's map 227, lot 17, located at 163 Doors Corner Road, consisting of .918 acres of land and including any buildings therein. Make a motion to approve this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 That was, just for the public, that was a buyback on someone's property that was tax deeded. That's a selectman's deed.
I have a second selectmen's deed, know all persons but these presents, the town of Ossipee, New Hampshire, mailing address 55 Main Street, P.O. Box 67, Center Ossipee, New Hampshire, after receiving all known back taxes, interest and penalties, grants to Donald Hill of 376 Exchange Street, Millis, Mass, with no covenants, the following described property. Map 29, Lot 1, subdivision lot E35, located at 110 Nichols Road, consisting of 0 acres of land and including any buildings therein. This was a camper. Make a motion to approve this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's it.
I have a supplemental warrant in the amount of $1,594, map 73, sub 6. This property was sold before the taxes went out. I make a motion we approve this supplemental warrant.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. I have a request for an abatement, map 248, lot 33. The assessor's recommendation is to grant it. I make a motion, we approve this request for an abatement.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. A request for a clerical abatement in the amount of $74. Map 122, Lot 10, Sub 58. This camper was registered as of April 1, 2021. I make a motion, we approve this clerical abatement.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have a clerical abatement in the amount of $1,594. Map 73, Lot 6. This property sold prior to the tax bill going out, so we need to bill the proper owner. I make a motion, we approve this clerical abatement.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes. I make a motion, we approve these minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have the recycling center daily cash log for the month of June 2021. The total collected, $15,879.60. That'll be on file in the Selectmen's office. Ossipee Board of Selectmen. The Ossipee Conservation Commission requests the Board of Selectmen's approval in appointing Angela Eldridge to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term. We also welcome suggestions you may have for new members. Sincerely, Laura Nash. I make a motion that we appoint Angela Eldridge to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I have a water and sewer warrant in the amount of $38,879.22. I make a motion, we approve this water and sewer warrant.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Good. I have a request for a voluntary address change. The address is going to change from 75 Chickville Road to 139 Chickville Road, and this is based on a 9/11 request for this change. I make a motion to approve this.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. I have a request for an administrative abatement for map 29, subdivision 1, lot B17 for years 2015 to 2018. Make a motion to approve this.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have a request for an administrative abatement from map 130, subdivision 12, lot 67 for years 2015 to 2019. Make a motion to approve this.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I got a request for administrative abatement for year 2018 for map 104, subdivision 14002, lot 0T2. Make a motion to approve this.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have a request for an administrative abatement for map 23, subdivision 7, lot N09 for years 2018 to 2021. Make a motion to approve this.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have a request for a clerical abatement for map 29, lot 1, subdivision A03 for years 2019 to 2021. Make a motion to approve this.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Got a request for an administrative abatement for map 130, subdivision 12, lot 114 for tax year 2018. Make a motion to approve this.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Got a request for an administrative abatement for map 29, subdivision 1, lot C32 for years 2013, 2014, and years 2016 to 2021. Make a motion to approve this.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Got a request for an administrative abatement for map 23, subdivision 7, lot 121 for tax years 2018 to 2021. Make a motion to approve this. Did I say that already? Do I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
This is the last one. Got a request for administrative abatement for map 29, subdivision 1, lot 275 for years 2018 to 2021. Do I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
That was too many of those. All righty, let's move on. Any old business? Board? Nothing? Okay. We addressed the street signs. I'm going to open the meeting to second public input.
I have.
Sure, go ahead, Dallas.
I've been asking a question for about a month and a half about the money that we're supposed to be getting from the government, the $450,000. So, just so happens that last meeting we had Monday, that night, I heard all about it. It was on Tucker Carlson, the whole thing. Now, it seems to me that there was in 2009 in Westchester, New York, they were accused of being a racist town because they didn't have multifamily dwellings. And it goes into zoning restrictions and eliminate suburbs. So when you take this money, you're abiding by a bunch of regulations. So we passed a housing act in '69. So in 2015, it was Fair Housing Act in '68. In 2015, what's his name? Cory Booker from New Jersey put a bill into the House. They passed a bill that was called called the House Bill, or Housing Act, which effectively, and I just took notes. I just wanted to remind myself what happened. What effectively happens is, you take this money, now you're obligated to the government. You can't change, they can come in and say, you're not allowed to have single-family lots. You're not allowed to restrict lot size, and you're not allowed to restrict height size on your buildings. So when we had this building put in down the street, it was called workforce housing. We did fight it. The town didn't want it at the time. If you take this money, you can't fight it. Okay, the government effectively takes over your zoning. Might as well give up planning too. And that's what's going to happen. And the answer's there. Anybody can watch this. It was on, what was that last Monday? It was 20-something of June. It was right before the holiday. And he explained the whole thing. The whole thing was laid right out. So I'm trying to figure out, that we have a meeting on the 26th, right? So this is what I've been asking about. Maybe you could say to our governor, hey, do you know what's going on here? Because what happens is, effectively, they don't allow block grants. Okay, so if you don't do what they tell you, you're not going to get your grant. And they're also they're going to withhold DOT money from the state under the same rule. And it looks all straightforward. Oh, it looks like a good thing. Like I said, good intentions. And it makes me feel bad to have to say that we shouldn't do this, because yeah, we need all of these things, but not the way they want to do it. So I wanted to bring up the fact that I did find my answer finally. Now it's just my opinion is we should not be taking this money. And you can look into it more, and everything I just said is absolutely true. So I just wanted to bring it up. I don't know what to do about it, because I'm sure the federal government wants to do this, and effectively they're going to take over this town. They're going to take over Freedom, Effingham, Conway. They're going to do whatever they want with it. So if I wanted to live in a city, I would move to a city. I don't want to live in a city. That's what's going to happen. They're going to bring it here. And this was all told to us. We were told, hey, guess what? They're going to come after the suburbs. Well, this is it. This infrastructure plan, it's in there. So, unless somebody can prove me wrong, I'd be happy to hear it. We'll have a meeting on the 26th, right? So we can discuss.
Yeah, the public hearing for the acceptance of the ARPA money is the 26th after the select meeting.
Okay, so I will do some more investigation into this. If we can look up Cory Booker's amendment in 2015. Also, Ayanna Presley of Massachusetts was involved with that. So they have done this already. And we already fought it once, and we couldn't get out of it during the, I believe, Obama administration.
Speak just real quick and then we can move on. The Westchester County, they take HUD money because they do have, and once we don't have any HUD money. We have no federal housing programs here at all. So it's a little different playing field for them because once you accept that HUD money, you are correct. You open up to those federal guidelines that you must adhere to. We're not in the same boat. So that is a little different case, but I understand your point.
Well, I'm sorry, but what we're doing effectively, when it's written right in the rules and regulations of what we had to do, which I read, it's right in there. If we have to follow this act they put in place in 1968, and then they changed in 2015, they don't say on that paperwork, hey, we changed this in 2015, here's the new amendment. That's not on there.
If we took all the money, I'd be worried, but we don't. So it's pretty different. Anyway,
Well, it didn't stop them from putting that in before when we didn't want it.
what was that?
The housing development, the workforce housing down the street.
Well, it obviously got approval for our plan and zoning board.
It didn't get approval, the town fought it. And then, we got forced to have it in there anyway.
I don't know the history of it, right?
Well, I was here. I remember. They were gonna put it right behind my house, if I remember correctly originally. That's,
You bypass planning and zoning, you're saying?
no, I'm saying it got forced through because they went to court and they said you have to accept it. Well, you were here, right? Isn't that what happened?
What was that?
Said I was here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you weren't in 15 when that happened?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were down. Yes, we had it. It was
All right. We understand what you're saying. We get it. Any other public input from anybody? Nothing? Okay, we're gonna move on. Our next meeting is gonna be on the 26th. That is the public hearing. That'll be our next selectmen's meeting and the public hearing for the ARPA funds. We're not meeting next week. Nothing else on the board? So I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
What's next week?
All those in favor?
we've gone to bi-weekly meetings.
Yeah, we're skipping 3 meetings going forth. So next meeting, Monday, we're not meeting. We're gonna meet the 26th. Week after that, we're not meeting, just for the summer. So, yeah. No holidays, if that's what you're
Second
thinking.
of the-
What?
There's no holiday next
Oh, I
week, if
thought
that's
it
what
might
you.
be something. I was trying to figure out what it was.
So I gotta, all those in favor on the adjournment?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We are adjourned.
Did I say something wrong? Oh, okay.